The US caught soccer fever watching the US men's national team play in the World Cup, but can the sport succeed in the Big Apple? It's a big question. The New York City Football Club, well, sure hope so. The team recently signed English soccer star Frank Lampard, who will join Spanish striker David Villa when the franchise debuts in 2015. Joining me now is Sholto Douglas-Home, CMO of Hayes PLC, who will be sponsoring the New York City football team, which I'm very excited about, and welcome, Sholto. They're going to start next season. They've got some big names already, as we mentioned, Frank Lampard, David Villa. Why now? Why is this the right time?
Well, I think everyone knows that to be a top team on the pitch, you also need a top team off the pitch. And
right.
I think we're announcing today that we're official recruitment partner to New York City Football Club, because we're going to help them build the team that they need to really ensure that their kind of management and technical roles behind the scenes are filled with the best talent.
Is the support there? That's the critical question.
Is the support in New York City?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that New Yorkers love a winning team, and they love their sport. And we've been hugely impressed with the energy and the professionalism and the real kind of sense of conviction that the New York City team, football team, are showing to kind of establishing their presence in this very competitive market.
How much did this World Cup, do you think, help galvanize a lot of this? There's been, in this country, there are a gazillion kids that play soccer when they are very young, and then they all go off and they do their own thing. But the MLS has come on strong. The World Cup was tremendous, I think. This country reacted to the World Cup more than I've ever seen this country react. What has been the watershed moment, do you think, to put soccer out there as a real contender for a very, very popular sport in this country?
Well, I think soccer has always been bubbling along in terms of participation. But the MLS is a very young league. It's only 20 years old. And I think that my understanding is a lot of the fan base in the MLS are quite young. And so as they get older, their commitment will stay with the MLS, particularly if the MLS sort of expands its franchise base, which it is. And I think it can be seen as a younger, more vibrant comparator to maybe the NFL or baseball or basketball.
So where will they play?
Well, New York City Football Club are playing at Yankee Stadium because it's
in the hallowed grounds.
In the hallowed grounds, and having now seen how a soccer pitch looks on a baseball pitch, I'm very impressed at how
does that look? That's because you have these huge stands on one end.
Yeah, it's kind of sideways, and I think the pitcher's mound has to be moved. But apart from that, no. But I think the long-term intention of New York City Football Club is to have their own stadium.
But for the first season or so, certainly
I think it's for the first 2 years, and it is a partnership. New York City Football Club is a partnership with the New York Yankees.
With the Yankees.
Yes.
And what about, is there a tie with a football team somewhere else?
Well, yes, they're Manchester City Football Club, who Hayes also sponsor as official recruitment partner, is under the same ownership as New York City. So that's how we've come. I mean, we're a big recruitment firm in global for recruitment firm, and we have a very strong base here in New York.
Manchester
so that
City
is why we're
a premier club. Yeah. That has oodles of money, of course. That's got to help strengthen this part of the equation, would you not agree? Yes,
and I think the David Villa and the signing of Frank Lampard proves that the club is putting their money where their mouth is, and they haven't come to make up the numbers. They've come to be winners.
Because Frank Lampard could easily, we were just saying, could probably have stayed with Chelsea, at least he's tireless and ageless. He could have stayed with Chelsea, which is in the Premier League, probably the best league in the world, and yet he chose to come here. So it's quite impressive.
I think if you look across the MLS, there is some really top talent. It doesn't just have to be in the twilight of a career. You now see a lot of professional footballers.
The MLS, or perhaps soccer in America, used to be. I think of Pele all the way back with the New York Cosmos.
And Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry, but not anymore.
No, and Jermaine Defoe, who's
gone to Toronto.
He's gone to Toronto. So I can see that it becomes a very attractive proposition, because obviously one player generates that publicity that then makes other players feel comfortable.
Well, my next question is, do you see other big signings along the way here?
Well, I don't know. I can't comment. We do official recruitment for New York City, kind of behind the scenes.
Right.
We don't find the players.
But now you're here and you've seen the setup. You're impressed.
very impressed, and I'm looking forward to seeing Manchester City play Liverpool at Yankee Stadium on Wednesday, which is the English Premier League champions against the runners-up. So that should give New York sports fans a great insight into soccer.
We are already out of time, but thank you so much for being here. Wish you a lot of luck, and we'll have you come back as we get closer and closer to the debut next year. Sounds terrific. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's Sholto Douglas Holmes, CMO of Hayes, who will be sponsoring the NYCFC. Exciting times ahead for soccer. Thanks for joining us.